Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. It is 6:41 a.m. Central Standard Time on January the 20th, and we had a M5.5 class flare pop off of the sun, and it is definitely already here. The protons have already arrived. You guys remember me telling you about sunspot 2929? Yeah, that's where she's coming from. Now let me go right over here to SDO. Sorry that we were over here at spaceweatherlive.com under solar activity. We looked at solar flares so we could actually see it. Now we're going to come over here to SDO, and we're going to see it come off of here. See that? 2929. Now this is not an X flare. I mean, yes, you see this X pattern, but that's just the way that it's interpreted, okay? That's how it's read. All flares do this, okay? They all have this little X pattern just because of the way the light is. Kind of funny, almost looks like a swastika, kind of when you turn your head. Interesting. But anyways, if you watch excuse me. Sorry, I shrink all the way down. If you watch the power from it, you see all the filaments just kind of affected and pushed down and out. This is a pretty substantial shock wave because look, it affects the surface of the sun all the way over here. Watch this thing moving. See that dancing? That boom? Yeah. That boom, boom, boom. Yeah, who's that? Black Eyed Peas? But yeah, that was pretty substantial. You can see everything moving, and it affects this thing down here too. Look at that. Whoosh. So there's even more plasma getting kicked off of the sun from that. See it fire that thing up? Yeah. So what happened was the protons have already got. Let's go check this out in another angstrom. Now here we're at 193 angstroms of light right before the pop, and you can actually see it affecting the surface of the sun. Oh, sorry. And here we'll go. Oh, come on, go this thing. Now, do you see how the surface? Look at the sun. See how it changed? How clear it was to that? That means we got a lot of protons in flux, riding our magnetic connection to the sun all the way down to us. So we'll have to check that out here in just a minute. Now, notice how everything affects all the way over here, like I was saying. I mean, whoosh! You can see the wave come this way. See the wave right here? Watch. See that? Yeah. So we've got incoming. We're probably taking plasma now, and then this one kind of sets off because of it. Now before that, oh, look at that, lovely. Look at that. Lots of activity going on since that happened. But I did want to show you guys this. That right there is the lenses cleaning themselves. See how it's got that angled corner? Now the other day, remember I showed you guys a video where something was going across the sun. They're like, oh no, it was the lens cleaning. No, this is what the lenses look like when they clean. It goes down, up, down, from left to right, and then right to left. And of course, they can do that whenever they want. Now here we're looking at yesterday morning on the sun. We actually have a filament release right along here. We have a ribbon release. Watch this. Oh, come on. Hello. What in the heck? Come on now. There we go. Now watch right along here. See that? That was a ribbon release from yesterday. I don't see any major coronal mass or CMEs, or really I don't see any flares or anything. I just kind of lifted off. We got our cleaner, and then here we actually have quite a bit going on here right as it's going up. See that? That's plasma coming off right in this area. Ooh, and there's our bang. Nice. Then you can see lift off here. There's some here, and there's some more that shoots out down here, actually. Going slow with it. See, there was one that kicked off there. But that's not really what I want to show you. I want to show you something else. And we're over here at Space Weather Prediction Center. This is what I wanted to show you. This is our X-ray absorption from it. So started off around 5 in the morning, kind of slowly got up there, and then she just, boom, coming in. So the main peak 5:45, let's say. Yeah, 35 decibels. Right over Australia, India, Thailand, Korea, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, that whole area. Y'all got hammered. Now that's already 30 minutes worth of it. You get into the red at 5:56. Yeah. Ooh. So at least 20 minutes of 35 decibels, I'd say. Well, over 25. Which isn't good. When she comes back down. Oh, now look at this. This is what I wanted to show you. See this here? This is our South Pole and this is our North Pole. Remember me showing you that the protons are riding down our magnetic connection to the sun? And this is what it does. It literally arrives right down it, boom, and it arrives here at our planet relatively early. You can see right here is about the center of the sun, but you look it up here, you'll see the same thing moving. See it? Okay, now, granted, this right here is totally 35 decibels at the South Pole. Now, this may not necessarily be reaching the surface, but it is in the ionosphere. And it's going to be there for quite a while. Okay? And the reason I know that is because I saw it not only off the sun, but I also seen it on LESCO. So let's go over here when I was looking at seeds. So we'll come over here to seeds. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Now, this right here is the way seeds normally looks, right? Let's get to the pop. Okay, here's the pop. You can see it now. Now watch. You see all the little white dots, right? Now watch all of a sudden as it gets closer to this explosion, as it gets closer to the sun, or to our satellite, you'll see a whole crap ton of them. Look at this. See how it's increasing like this? These are particles that are actually coming and hitting the satellite. I've seen this before. It's done this a few times actually. So you can see all the little particles coming and hitting the satellite. And that's what's happening. So that's how I knew that was going to happen. So when you got two sources, when you look at it at the satellite, LESCO C2, and you see all the little particles kind of increasing, I've seen it actually way worse than this before. Then you know that it's going to look like that when we go to the absorption. Oh, hello, friend. Just kind of zooming in to say hi. Look at him. That's a weird looking one, isn't it? Now over at Space Weather Prediction Center, we can see where our M flare was here, and we can see our solar proton flux. See that? I had to find it for a minute. But that right there is what I was showing you down there. Now, what does that mean? See, we've got an R2 and an S1. Let's see what it means, okay? S1, solar radiation storm impacts. That's right, solar radiation. Biological, which means me, you, animals, none. Satellite operations, none. Other systems, minor impacts on HF radio in the polar regions. So, for the majority of us, we're going to be okay. Alright, now, R2, what is this? Radio blackout impacts. Okay, it's R2 moderate. Limited blackout of high frequency, that's what HF is. High frequency radio communications. On sunlit side, loss of radio contact for tens of minutes. So it could be 50 minutes, 60 minutes, 80 minutes, who knows. Navigation, degradation of low frequency navigation signals for tens of minutes. So that's pretty much what we're looking at right there. Alright, so it's nothing to get super panicky about, but it's definitely something to be taking precautions for. Alrighty. As we look over here at 94 angstroms of light, we can clearly see that there's activity. This is the one that did go off. This is 2929, and I think we might see some more activity out of this before it gets around the limb. But let's go ahead and kind of watch. We can see some activity coming off in this region here, as this is giving little pops before she actually really gives off. Look at that. See this? This is actually popping off, saying hello. Oh, hello, friend. How you doing? What if he had something to do with it? And there's our... Ooh, that's a nice flare. That is a really nice M flare. Comes in nice and clean. It looks like it's kind of stays up for a little bit. Nice little activity. Oh, look, got another friend right here. Zoom. Right there. See him? They're all over. And then we can see the reaction here. Very nice. So we might want to keep our eyes down in this region here. We might see some more out of that bugger before it gets around the bend. But let's come back over here to Space Weather Prediction Center, and we are going to follow this. And I remember what I was telling you about earlier about this being a long-term event at our north and south poles. Here we go. Notice how it kind of it pops on. Yep, gets up into the red, 35 decibels. Yes, very much so. So if you're down in Antarctica, feeling sorry for you right about now. Even if you're up in, looks like right here you got Greenland. Greenland's got quite a bit of it coming down, and Iceland, so we're actually going to have to see what happens in these regions between the North and the South Poles to see if we have any earthquake upticks or volcanic activity. There's already one in Antarctica that's going off, and there's some right up around Iceland, Greenland. Ooh, this is getting really nutty, folks. And over here on LASCO C2 and C3, we are going to see the similar events. So, as we've noticed, there's not a lot of white particles. Oh, but we do see a nice, what is that, guys? Military formation. See that? Nice formation there, guys. Very good. Now, we are going to see an increase in activity out here. Okay. I see, now all of a sudden the particles are starting to increase. And then it gets more and more and more, and then just kind of takes over everything, right? We can see them everywhere. This is where a trained eye is very handy, because they are going to be active like crazy, because they can be. It's like a dust camouflage for them. And as we see over here, it will all of a sudden start to increase. Look at this. Just like on LASCO C2. See? So now, now that they've got this little excuse, they can be out here going like crazy, so we're going to have to pay close attention. Got my work cut out for me. So you guys stay safe out there. Tinfoil hats on. Because, yeah, it's getting exciting. Remember that love is the only way forward. Don't be afraid.